our topic is very important today to monetize the knowledge. Everybody has the capacity that they can earn some money. In fact, they have a warehouse of knowledge in their mind.
We are actually brainwashed.
But I want to work independently, remotely.
The company decided to wrap up the whole department. And then he started thinking, what should I do? A lot of times we don't explore ourselves. I reviewed your video board. They're going to pay me $2,000. You have internet, you have a cell phone and a laptop, and if you are not making money, you are losing.
It gave me the realization that anything can happen anytime.
And in your 24 hours, you have 3 things to manage, right? Your full-time job, your family, and your sleeping.
You have to be a little crazy. How do you entertain yourself? I think, what is entertainment? You only motivate yourself. Look at my LinkedIn, they look at things that I do. If they have money, they will come and sign up with me. I'm working from my bedroom, I still make enough.
Important factor which motivates me is the giving mindset.
Having your own platform is very important.
Whatever you can do right now, you should do it. And I created a platform luckily much before even the REITs are doing it, right? Literally very basic tools. I had only Zoom and PowerPoint and a microphone that I used.
They are hungry for data. They are hungry for content.
I also struggle at times is, the fear of unknown.
Did you reach to that $700 million on the first day when you produced?
So they mentioned something which is called as Spark. Optimize your content based on that platform, because
taking the first step will make things easier for you.
After 4 years of uploading on YouTube, 700 videos have been uploading.
I'm fascinated with the concept of reverse funnel, by the way.
I have seen a lot of content creators repackaging, re-uploading their old videos.
It took me 3 years to sell my first course. I was asking how important for us to show up.
They got almost 3 million views.
See you in the next webinar.
As a very junior professional at British Deputy High Commission. Before that, I worked, as a salesperson as well. 17 years with British Deputy High Commission, I became their head of trade and investment. I became the first Pakistani, in fact, first South Asian to serve as Queen Elizabeth II's official press officer. So a lot of things that I did during that job, and I learned a lot. Traveled, of course, a lot as well. Then I was poached by US Chamber of Commerce for a project they were starting in Pakistan on economic development. And as an economist, as somebody who could understand the economic landscape, they brought me in. I again somehow grew very fast in that job, became their deputy country director, the country director, and then regional director. And as a regional director, I was at least every week, a month, I was in a plane going somewhere and doing something out of Pakistan as well. So worked technically in 12 countries. First book I wrote was in 2012. Very passionate about the science of career development and comparing my own self into how I grew from something very basic, these positions. Something that I talk about a lot in my content. Why people follow me? Maybe they learn something from me. That's why they follow me. And some of the followers are, of course, my students and my clients who I support on LinkedIn a lot. When I moved to Canada, I think this is also very important because topic is monetize your knowledge. All that knowledge that I built over years and kind of big pro bono mentoring and all that. When I came back to Canada in 2019, in 2020, my contract ended with US Chamber of Commerce Center for International Private Enterprise. And I said, okay. In January 2020, I had already decided that I really want to do something of my own. It was COVID in April, and I started during COVID. And literally made a lot of money. First couple of months were very struggling because I had never done any business, so I could not really talk to people and kind of ask for money. As career professionals in our jobs. I mean, I personally felt at that point in time that I was like a slave in my corporate job. As a slave, I would work and I would get paid. when it comes to your own money making part, you have not built that capability of asking someone to pay you something for your services. And that was shocking. That was like really, but I learned it. But after a couple of months, I actually started making a lot of money because of COVID. People were worried, and everything was done digitally. That was the starting point for my journey. 5 years almost in the business, and I'm only growing. And then I found people like you, people like Wali, who I'm really jealous with. I'm going to meet him in Dubai, and the way he works, and so we all really work very hard in our lives. My personal belief is that if we don't monetize our knowledge, we will remain as a slave and will wait for our salaries. So this is, I think, what I had to say right at the beginning.
Thank you so much, Hamasa, for this introduction. I think you are example for us. You are not jealous from us. We are actually jealous for you. So our topic is very important today, to monetize the knowledge. So I'm also working myself. Really, we are trying to make some money out of our knowledge, and everybody has the capacity that they can earn some money. So I would like to have your comment on this: how people can start their journey, how they can monetize the knowledge. Because I have seen people invest their whole life for one employer or maximum two employer. In fact, they have a warehouse of knowledge in their mind, and they sell this knowledge only maximum, I think, one, two, three employers. That's it in their whole life. So it's a mindset actually. So how do you define this stage?
Yeah, so this is what I said earlier as well, Anibhai, that you know we are actually brainwashed. I always say, during our jobs, we are always brainwashed. We think that we are kind of becoming risk averse, but we are actually in a risky situation all the time. Because I've seen people working at very senior positions. With one go, we are shutting down the department. Something has happened. You may please go, right? And recently, also, not too recently, 2 years ago, one of my clients came to me who served at a very senior level position. He was director sales for lubricant company, Total Lubricants, in Canada. Uh, Worked with the company for over 10 years, and one good day, the company decided to wrap up the whole department. He was out of job, and then he started thinking, what should I do now? What I personally feel, and to some extent, I was there as well, right? But I was mentally prepared to jump into this situation. So for me, I'm in a new environment. I really wanted to explore myself, and I did that. A lot of times we don't explore ourselves. Like when Wali does his videos, and he does it so wonderfully. All these videos are edited, and a lot of hard work that goes behind it. He learned it. Nobody taught him that. He learned it like looking at what kind of lens is required, what kind of focus is required, what kind of light would work. You do. I mean, I reviewed your video lessons. I mean, fantastic. Amazing. So what I want to say is that we have that knowledge. I had that knowledge. I knew I'm an excellent mentor and a coach, something that I've been doing for 36 whatever years. If I don't monetize it, if I don't use that for building my own career, where there is, I'm sitting in my background. I mean, I haven't even fixed the background. You can see my fan here. I was busy since morning. I responded to two potential clients. If they come on board, they're going to pay me $2,000, right, per month. The thing is, we get freedom only when we start something of our own. And that was one thing that stuck in my mind. There was another thing that actually triggered this whole thinking process. I think very important to understand as well, which will take us to kind of extend the conversation. I think about 20, 22 years ago, there's a gentleman, his name is Dr. Irfan. Dr. Irfan is, I'm sure it still is, was the Yahoo representative in Pakistan. So you remember Yahoo.com? Nobody looks at that browser anymore.
Once, once upon a time.
Yeah, but at that time it was Yahoo, right? So, and he said in one of the conferences, he was a dear friend. He said, "There will be a time when people will make money while they're sleeping." That one sentence was stuck in my head for, I don't know, last 20 22 years. And I was really looking at, the opportunity. Now is the opportunity. I would say, if you have knowledge, if you have internet, which we all have, if you have a cell phone and a laptop, and if you are not making money, you are losing money. Period. And I'm not. At least I'm making money just by using the my knowledge, internet, and my laptop and phone. That's it.
But one question people ask me, I just would like to ask from you that in your 24 hours, you have three things to manage, right? Your full-time job, your family, and your sleeping. How can you inject your entrepreneurship or your passion into this timing? How people can manage this?
I think time management is in our hands. You know, we waste a lot of time, honestly speaking. Now, I mean, you may a lot of I don't know how many people are watching us at this point, man. But people will
I
think
think
Oman is crazy. I
there
think
are
you have to
20
be
people so far.
25. So you have to be a little crazy. All these successful people that you see around you are a little bit crazy, crazier than you. Okay, can you be a little bit more crazier than them? That will be the differentiating factor. So I was a little crazy, and I would observe things, and I would try to, and I wasted a lot of time in my life, to be very frank. But when I realized is, okay, watching TV is waste of time. It actually reduces my ability to think. I stopped watching TV. Now, one of my friends in Canada said, Hamad, bhai, how do you entertain yourself? I said, what is entertainment? To me, like helping people learn something, my learning, my making money is entertainment for me. I don't need to go spend time to drive into a cinema and watch a movie. I don't care. I don't know what movies are out there. I don't know actors. I only watch some TV dramas with my wife, and sometimes I'm only pretending that I'm watching. I'm actually doing something on my life. So you can, I mean, she knows that. I mean, you're not watching. Yeah, yeah, I'm watching. Okay, what had happened in this drama? And she would ask. But there's some dramas that I really watch. Now, we try to do things, or we try to mimic people, and we think, okay, we have to be like them. No, you don't have to be like them. You have to be different. You will only grow when you're different. If you're like part of the crowd, you're like a crowd, right? So you can be different. So I am different.
But
I
how
sleep.
purpose is important and how people will start motivating that what is the they are doing something right. Something should motivate them when they are doing something extra. So is
Yeah.
money or what? What do you say?
Okay. So it's not money. You only motivate yourself. You have to inspire yourself. I personally feel don't take inspiration from anyone. You are different. You're genetically different. Your thumb impressions don't match. Okay. You think differently. I think differently. I was on that podcast just now, and we were talking about exactly the same example. I said success for everyone is different. It's subjective. So somebody would feel successful by driving a Mercedes, for instance. For me, that's not success. I mean, I'm a Toyota guy. I'm more happier in the okay. I like the SUV. Um, Fine. If I don't have SUV, I would still have a four wheeler, right? I would still have a car. The point is, success is different for different people, and you have to start from that little success. And how? Anybody remember when you did your first LinkedIn post, when you created your first video, the response that you got from people? Somebody say wonderful. So, but most of them, why is he posting? He's doing videos, looking for another job. Let them talk about it. Now you are You are popular, people know you, you have got a podcast, you've got a channel, you've got a course available, you're doing mentoring. You're different. So be different and motivate yourself. I mean, you don't need to make money, money will follow you. If you adopt a process, money will follow you. Sometimes money is not important. For my first so many years, money was not that important, but I was totally contributing into building my own muscles, right? Into building my own capabilities. Money started to fall. I mean, to be very fair, I'm so bad in following up. Lead comes to me, I respond to the lead, and I then forget. People follow me. They look at my LinkedIn. They look at things that I do. If they have money, they will come and sign up with me. Ultimately, living in Canada, working from my bedroom, I still make enough to lead a decent enough life.
I think
So
one of the
motivate.
important factor which motivates me is the giving mindset.
Oh yeah, absolutely,
So it's not about money, it's about giving mindset that satisfy you every day.
totally, totally. And
I
if
think
you don't give, you don't get. You have to give to get.
yeah.
You're correct, Hamad Saab, because money is the driver once you are starting maybe, but it will not be the same once you keep on going. Because right now, if you take my example, I'm making more than what I'm making from my salary, but still I'm going, and it's not the driver that I'm just doing YouTube videos or LinkedIn day in and day out. You see, it reminded me of something when my father was not well back home in Pakistan. I went there. I know some of my colleagues were saying, "Yeah, you are so lucky that you can do remote job and you can work remotely even from my office." They were giving me such liberation that I can work from Pakistan. But so for many people, this was not the possibility. For many people, that was not an option at all to work remotely. Consider for myself now that if I'm anywhere in the world and I'm still working, so for me, this is liberation and this is the target. So I don't want, maybe I would be okay in working for the same company that I'm working in right now, but I want to work independently, remotely. I want to, let's say, be with my parents anywhere, anytime I want. So this is the liberation that I want, which probably will not be there with any company that I work in, even if I'm in Canada, even if I'm in any other part of the world, because not all the companies, or let's say maybe your company is very good, but later on things happen, as you said, Nadeem Saab. Anything can happen. One fine day, you would be just laid off. So this is very important. So in today's day and age, I think as Hamad Saab said, that having a camera, having a mic is just what you need. And this is the beauty of YouTube as well, that, or any other content creation platform, that wherever you want, you can stay there and keep on working and make money. So so this is the basic point of view when I was thinking about YouTube, when I was starting my content creation journey. First thing is that, of course, it was COVID. During that time, I was starting up, and that it gave me the realization that anything can happen anytime. And during that same time, my immigration case of Canada was also like had some issues. So I thought that, okay, I'm not going there, and it was good for me that I didn't went there, because hamster wheel, and I would have not thought about this YouTube or content creation. So everyone has different story. I'm actually inspired by Mr. Nadeem, because so for me, I have always been doing this YouTube for last 3-4 years and not able to build up my own platform. But Nadeem has built up his own platform, which is very important, because this social media can just let's say go away and smoke anytime. It rarely happen, but it can happen. For having your own platform is very important. So this is my own goal. I mean, this is my next goal, that I have to create some kind of courses, some kind of platform, some kind of community, which is independent of my own content creation, because that can be a lead magnet. but my main source of income should not be my content creation, or let's say referrals or lead generation from my social media.
Yeah, Vali, your story is also, I think, inspiring, at least to me, because I have seen your videos and how you are managing your time and everything. It's an amazing journey, by the way. It's an amazing journey. Any question people can ask me? I think Pradesh was there, I think, before. Anybody want to ask a question, you can
Hassan
raise the hand. I
Saab,
can
thank you
bring
very
on the
much.
stage.
Hassan Qureshi is joining us as well. Dr. Hassan Qureshi, thank you very much for joining in. But you see, while it's an open floor for people to ask questions, uh, you know, anything which you can do right now is the best thing you should do. If you can create a platform right now, do it. If you cannot, no problem. Whatever you can do right now, you should do it. Now, I started on TikTok, for instance, and so the perception that I had of TikTok was, all these funky dancing people and stuff like that. So it's not a serious platform, right, for most of the people. Then I started studying, okay, and why people are using TikTok, and then I found Sam and Sinek using TikTok and all those great people, um, uh, like influencers and coaches using TikTok, and said, Mark, if they are using it and you are not using it, you are out of the race. Okay, you're out of competition. Like you're not using it. So I said, okay, let me just start with something. So I started with randomly doing videos and stuff, and I was not getting any views and hardly any comments. So but I just kept doing it. Like almost whatever I could think of, I would just do a video. And as I started using it more intensely, what I see is that within 24 hours, my videos are getting close to 500-600 views all of a sudden. Now the lesson is, if you're not there, you don't exist. If you're there, you will start feeling the difference, and slowly you build it up. Now what we are thinking is, I mean, I have a little team that I work with. We're thinking to start spending money, performance marketing on TikTok as well. TikTok is the cheapest performance marketing tool available at this point in time. Cheapest. And once you have a big funnel there, you can start nurturing that funnel into something else. I did not know about funnels. I only learned it. Okay. And I created a platform luckily much before even the Nadeep are doing it, right? I started building it up almost 3 years ago, an independent course platform. And now my courses are available not only on my platforms, but I'm getting paid by doing courses on others' platforms as well. So they are marketing my courses and I'm getting paid. And all that happened because they reached out to me, and I'll be creating another course in a couple of weeks' time. The point I wanted to make is, don't consider it's rocket science. It's doable. My first course, before we take Asan Saab, first course which is still giving me money, easily anything between $500 to $1,000, uh, almost passive income, I would say, almost passive income every month, is the course that I developed with literally very basic tools. I had only Zoom and PowerPoint and a microphone that I used. Even that microphone didn't work properly. Now, when I watch that course, I say, Mat, you developed this course, you should really revamp it. I don't have time, otherwise I would. So, and that's a course on somebody else's platform. They market it, they charge what, so I get 50%. So they actually, if they sell it for $100, I get $50. So simple. They are doing everything for me. I created only once. So build that up. If you don't build it up, then of course it's not going to happen. That's
I think one question comes in my mind, Masa. How do you define funnel?
okay. I'll come to you. Hassan Saab. He is next door, but we don't meet.
Hasan Saab, welcome to the show.
Guys, can you hear me?
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah, we can hear you. We
Assalamu
can
alaikum,
see you.
everyone. I
Thanks.
think Hamad Saab and my relationship goes back 3-4 years while I
yes.
was re-immigrating from Pakistan to Canada. I actually had the privilege of coming to Canada, immigrating to Canada twice. So, and Wali and Nadeem, I've recently started following you. So great stuff. I think it's, I mean, one of the things I also struggle at times is, the fear of unknown. For, you know, is like, if I do this, what's the worst that's going to happen? Nobody's going to listen, or people would criticize me. So it's that fear of unknown and the point of view of what's going to happen and what people are going to say about it. So I think at times that's something, I don't have enough time. How would I handle it? If it's taking the first step, taking the first step will make things easier for you. As Hamad Sab rightly said, previous things are still generating revenue for him. So hopefully in next couple of weeks or a month or so, I would also be up and running something. So I follow all of you with great inspiration.
You
Thank you.
should. You should.
Thank
I've
you.
been encouraging
Thank
you
you.
for past at least more than a year to start something of your own. Uh, okay, so before we jump onto the funnel side of it, Hasan Saab, Mr. Beast has a net worth of $700 million.
Yes,
Seven hundred
my
million dollars,
daughters actually follow him.
right?
I think
Now,
every son, every kid is following him.
right.
Yeah.
Now, point I wanted to make here is, did he reach to that $700 million on the first day when he produced his first video?
Step by step.
Right? But he did. Right? So we don't know whether Wali, me, or Nimbai, we will ever be able to reach to $700 million. But we may cross $700 million as well.
Yeah.
And we all three can, because we are there. We are there. We are doing it, right? If we don't do it, then of course we'll only watch Mr. Beast.
Yeah.
So in this modern era, when I said your knowledge, your internet, your laptop and phone, that's it. Content is the new oil. Content. Use it. I was watching Alex Hermosi the other day, and I like him. I like couple of I like Gary Vee a lot, because he talks a lot of interesting sense, and he's not selling anything, because he's just sharing information, knowledge. Alex Hermosi, and he was saying it. If we so there's a lot of content available. Like, a lot of YouTubers and TikTokers are not producing their own content. Their video is their own, but using somebody else's content and narrating it. It's so bloody easy. Like, if you talk like Wali, and we have another friend in our creator group who does Canadian economy, right? But what he does, he picks up a news and he explains that news and adds his own thoughts to it. Can we all not do it? I mean, today, what's happening in stock market is, we had a very bad day. I mean, Dow
Last week.
Jones, S&P, and Nasdaq last week. Today, it's 600 points up.
Hmm.
And everybody's following this. Just think about it. What I'm trying to say. Everybody is today following the stock market news. What you have to do is just to take this from CNBC and narrate it in your way. That's it. The
I'll
content
tell
is
you
there.
something. I'll tell you something. I heard this from one of the YouTube podcasts. I'm not sure which one, but it was on Think Media, and they were telling about this specific, let's say, a specific way to, let's say, if you're starting new and you want to have something of your own, and you're just worried about what to say and how to say, and let's say people will say something. So they mentioned something which is called as Spark. So Spark is like comprising of SPARK. So Spark means speak to a specific person, So S means specific, speak to a specific person. So don't worry about reaching out to masses. Talk about someone, let's say you know one of your friend who doesn't know a specific thing, and talk to him. Just talk to him, and let's say film yourself. I mean, don't talk to him directly, but let's say talk to the camera, thinking that
Yeah.
he's in front of you. This is very easy, and I sometimes even take this example, and sometimes I try to have issues. Let's say if I'm having issue explaining one of the topic, but if I think about one person that I'm just explaining to, it becomes very easy for me to explain to in front of the camera because I'm just thinking of one person. So this is from S, Spark. And then P is very important as well, and this is what I've seen, that a platform is very important. What I've seen is, let's say if I'm making a video on YouTube, it will not work on Facebook. It might not work on Facebook. It might or it might not, but most probably it might not. So if you're making something for Instagram, it might not work for TikTok. If you're making something for LinkedIn, it might not work for Facebook. So this is very important as well. Pick one or two platforms that you are actually, let's say, good at, or let's say you think that those platforms are good for you. So, or let's say you think that your audience is there. So start with that platform, because then you will optimize your content based on that platform, because these platforms, it's not like Instagram, TikTok, although they looks like same, but they have a different kind of let's say content optimization. So Spark SP A is for always show up. So quantity over quality, at least in the beginning. So you always think that I have to polish up, I have to bring up my best of my things, but it's not necessary, because if you see, I mean, this whole content world, YouTube and even other platforms, they are hungry for data, they are hungry for content. Just try uploading the content whatever you have in the beginning, and think about polishing later on. They say in the investing world that invest now, optimize later. So for this content world as well, it's like that: upload now and optimize later. So even, let's say, if you're not uploading, you will not be able to understand what is going to happen, because even right now, after 4 years of uploading on YouTube, 700 videos I've been uploading on YouTube, and now I'm also doing LinkedIn as well. Even every day I'm learning new things. Algorithm also change. So many things are coming up, so you have to upload and then think about optimizing it. Then there is very important thing that you should be relieving pain points for people. So in this word Spark, R is for relieving pain points. So think about your audience and think about what you can talk about. And let's say if I'm someone who is 40 plus, and most of the people here maybe are 40 plus, or let's say 30 to 40, they must have some kind of knowledge, they must have some kind of experience now that they can talk about, and they know that what are the pain points. It's only that we need to curate that. So talking about the pain points is very important. And then the last point in the Spark, which is K, that is keep repackaging. And this I understood very late. I just, by the way, Hamasa, I uploaded one LinkedIn post today, and that was only same text with different photo. I just uploaded that maybe 3 weeks back, and I tried that on LinkedIn, and I was baffled by the response that I received from that post, because what whatever is in your mind, you're always thinking that, okay, this I've already said, this I've already communicated. I mean, people would say that this is duplication, but this is not the case. I have seen a lot of content creators repackaging, re-uploading their old videos, their old podcasts again and again and again in different ways. So this is very important as well, to repackage not only, let's say, your old videos, but the ideas as well. I do this very frequently with maybe a slight different stories twist. So Spark is very important for someone who is starting up, and I like this idea of having this word.
No, no, this is. I think last point I really inspired from the last time I also tried. Sometime I write the post and I change my text, and I realize the algorithm is picking the same post differently. It happens. So, Wasab and Wali, I just have one question from both of you. How important for you to show up in the video?
So why don't we first take up the first question, the funnel
Yeah, yeah.
question,
This is my favorite question.
right? So and you know what? I am fascinated with the concept of reverse funnel. By the way, this is something that I coach specifically in my program, the solopreneurship program that I run. Uh, what is reverse funnel? So funnel is basically like a pyramid, like if you it's like a funnel. So you have the attention and all those things that people do in the funnel, and you convert. So this is like a conventional way of you do a lot of stuff. People watch you on the sidelines, and you start talking to them, and you start building trust and credibility, and then you convert. Now the concept of reverse funnel is that you start working with people who already know you. And this what we are doing today is actually reverse funnel, right? So Nadibai knew me, Wali knew me, some we all knew each other, right? So what we are doing, we have actually created a reverse funnel. It's like this. So you're working with a smaller group of people who know each other, and we are capitalizing on our knowledge, connections, capabilities, whatever you may name it, right? We are capitalizing. So or whatever 20, 25 people are here, if you don't know me, now you know me because of Naneem or Wali or because of Dr. Hassan. We don't know. So this is reverse funnel, and I'm really fascinated with this concept. And I emphasize in my program, my solopreneurship training program, to build your reverse funnel. And I connected it again. This is observation. I connected the concept of reverse funnel from back home, going as an insurance agent. So a lot of when I was growing up, a lot of people would just go and try to work with RMG Insurance and State Life and stuff because they would take like hundreds of like people every month. Okay, come because people don't stay; they will leave. It's a very difficult job. And the first week of your job, when you're having your tea and everything which is available on the floor, is take a piece of paper, a pen, and write down the name of people in your network, your cousins, your friends' fathers, who you could pick up phone and talk to. This is reverse funnel. Once you have reverse funnels, what happens? You serve for a smaller community. You already know them, so the trust level is higher. When you deliver something to them, you can get almost instant testimonials. Those instant testimonials will then be used later on into your program. And if you're doing something for free, for instance, for them to test your capabilities, you actually fine tune your product. You fine tune your course. So that's the concept of funnel, by the way. What was the question? I forgot the question.
No, I was asking how important for us to show up ourselves in the post, because I have seen many YouTubers, they are making a lot of money and nobody have seen ever them. They are just bringing their voice and contents. They are not coming by themselves in front of people.
But showing up is very important, Wali. I think showing up doesn't really mean showing your face. On LinkedIn, most of the time people don't do videos. Like Wali does now videos because he's a pro video. I do video. I think, yeah, some of our friends within the community that work together on creators, right? Some of them do video, some of them don't. But showing up does not mean only video. This is what I mean. Showing up means showing your knowledge or expressing your point of view uh, and eventually convert. Now, um, if you have a story to tell, you don't really need to show your face, right? But you need to learn how to tell that story first. Remember during the radio time, at least I remember that I'm the eldest in the group. We had different radio programs for kids in Pakistan, and we would listen to those stories, and we would try to create something of it, imagination, and we would hook with these stories. बच्चों की दुनिया and तालीम और तरबियत were the two magazines we used to get. I mean, I could not read. I was so little. My mother would read it for me. And me and my sister was a year younger to me. You would just, but you would try to create that imagination about these paris or shazadas or flying horse and everything. Storytelling. I think that's more important than showing up. This is my point of view. Wali bhai, over to you.
So actually, we've seen in our whole career so far, there are a lot of writers that we know of, but we haven't seen them. Similarly, a lot of people are behind the stage. You know that those old days, let's say Uncle Sargam and these things. So they don't show up. Plus, I've got this book, and I highly recommend for people to read this book, How to Get Paid for What You Know. This book has a lot of information for anyone who is thinking about monetizing their knowledge. This book, although when I started reading this book, I was already implementing a lot of things that were written in there, but then this was a validation for me as well. And here in this book, there are so many things that you can do without showing your face. Let's say you can start LinkedIn first and foremost. LinkedIn is something which is, of course, you can do just by your biopic, and then there are newsletters that you can do. There are many YouTube channels. They might, if you can go and search for economy explained, something like that. This is an Australian news, not news, Australian documentary channel, which is doing wonders. I mean, their documentaries are mind blowing, and nobody is showing up there. It's only the audio or the voice that is coming from one of the person, and it's the same person all the time. But they're talking about so many things, and they're talking about those things without showing up the face. Showing up the face is very important, by the way. It's going to give a huge impact, because let's say I know a few people that talk about finance in Pakistan, and they don't show their faces on Twitter, and that hampers their progress. I know their growth is stopped because of that. Because talking about finance and not showing your face is something which is not going to go well with a lot of people. Similarly, there are other domains like where you need to show the face, but there are many domains that you don't need to. Like I know of, one of my friend, personal friend, I know that he runs a very huge blog for politics in Pakistan, and he doesn't show up his face, and he doesn't have to. Actually, he should not be doing that. So there are a lot of flavors that you can go into content creation, where you don't have to show the face, but eventually I think you need to be somehow comfortable with the camera, one way or the other. If it's for someone else, like you're thinking that maybe your office colleagues will think something different, then forget about it. I mean, those people will think about it, and they will keep on thinking about it.
Yeah,
If it's for some security reason, then it's a different story. But apart from that, what will the other thing? Just don't worry about that.
it doesn't matter. I think we have Prajesh. Prajesh, can you open your mic or camera? So, Prajesh, are you here? I think
While
he.
Pragesh is struggling with his camera and the microphone, I'll just
Yeah.
add to what Wali said earlier as well. Talk to your friend. There was something spark, I've noted it down. It's an excellent share, Wali. So what I did, experimenting works. If we don't experiment, okay, we'll live our life and we'll retire and we'll die one day. So keep experimenting. I keep experimenting. I think that's one thing that really um, motivates me. So what I said is um, communication is that. In fact, I read it. There was this report. So LinkedIn produces a report every year about the top skills required in the job market. And communication and adaptability are the two topmost skills at the moment. They keep interchanging in terms of the priority. The communication. I said, communication. Oh man, can I make some money off communication? Because I know I understand communication. I've worked with like a senior position and all that. Working for Queen Elizabeth II was something that actually taught me a lot of things around communication. Why not? And then I spoke to one of my friends who has also worked in the space of communication for many years. Said, yeah, I've got an idea. Let's create a communication skills course in Urdu language. And initially, he had a communication skills course in Urdu language, and then we deliberated. The thing is that communication can be different in different environment. Language is totally different, and communication is totally different. If somebody speaks German, that's the language, but can he communicate in German or not? That's very different, like in an interview, in conflict resolution and all that. So we said, let's do it. And how do we do it? I said, okay, because I have got a community of students as well. So we will do webinars, and every webinar will have different topics, within communication. And we'll do question and answer as well. So we'll do a presentation. You and I will take care of the presentation, talk about it, share our experiences, and we'll do it in Urdu language. And we'll teach people how to improve their communication. So we did that. We did, I think, about 18 or 20 episodes. So 18 or 20 hours of content we created. Every week we would do one. Of that videos that we recorded, and it's all done literally. This is high flying platform that we have. But what I did was just Zoom it. But we had good microphones, both of us. We did that. We then chopped that into an 8 hours course every month, and we don't even promote that course, literally. And every month we have at least 10 to 15 people enrolling in that program. Literally 100% passive income. The only thing that we invested was those 18, 20 hours of thing, and then we got it edited, maybe another $300-400. That's about it. And every month that's is paying me something. Now, but we have a bigger program available. Like we had a recording of like almost 20 hours. Now what I'm doing, I'm actually taking some of that content and building it for another platform. So I'm going to, once they start marketing it, I'm going to make some more money. So content is, and this friend of mine said when I started, he said, you record everything. I said, why should I record everything? And he said, Hamad bhai, record even if you fart, because that content is really important. And now I've been doing these like live sessions, training program for almost 4.5 years. Just think about it. How many hundreds of hours of recording I have available? Just, so, if I had not started the training program to the recording, I would not have anything to show. And now what we do, we repackage things, as Ali said. Within from the same program, we create like different smaller programs and put it on our portal. Somebody buys it, we get paid, right? Free, no problem. So starting is always the biggest challenge. The self-limiting belief stops us.
I was just posted one post today that it took me 3 years to sell my first course.
Yeah.
I started my social media journey in 2021, and last week I start selling it. Can you believe it?
That's absolutely fine.
Yeah.
Because you see, again, I sold my first course literally within days. My first, and the reason was I was already on social media in a big way. But there will be a time, and you will see that time soon, when you will have to actually start doing performance marketing. At this point in time, I mean, you might be surprised. I actually spend $10,000 a month in promoting my online courses every month. So what I did, and I had to have a big heart for that, right? So what I did, because we were kind of using it different ways of performance marketing, is now we are ready to invest heavily. But I said, okay, I'm taking this money out of my savings, putting into my business. Don't lose anything. Just at least look for a break even. But think about it, and Valibhai was nodding his head. Valibhai, think about it. If I keep investing, and we are recycling, we are literally making enough to recycle. For one whole year, if I'm investing $10,000 every month, $120,000 worth of paid marketing. Just think about it. How much value am I creating? How many people, how many eyeballs I'm hitting? And something to also understand, my first course that I sold it for $39. My online course, $39. And someone, a big influencer on social media, um, said, this is too expensive. This is too expensive. I, in fact, offered him, okay, you come because you have got 2 million followers, 2 million followers. Let's partner with me. I'll give you 20-30%. You just have to put my posts up onto the system. He refused. He said, you're too expensive. I sell that course for $99 minimum now. Okay. And my coaching program is $550 for three weeks program. 350. Now, why I'm saying this? I'm saying this because when you build your muscles up, your heart opens up. You go, okay, man, if you come to me for consulting, I'll charge you $1,000. And a lot of time people don't even negotiate.
But well, one question. There are people here, I think 18 people here. I think they are not into this journey which we are in. So, what is the simple step you can advise them to start monetizing their knowledge?
What do you know? What do you know which can help someone do something better, faster, and economically? I mean, these are the three things. People are looking for instant gratification. They need results. These 18 people are with us for the past 55 minutes because they are learning something. Those who dropped out probably either did not learn anything or did not learn what they wanted to learn, or they didn't have time. So if you don't have time, these 18 people have time, right? They are the people who should really start. Come and join my solar leadership program. I'll teach you how to. But the point is, you need to understand if there is something that you can help people with, do something quickly and optimally and cheaply and can create some instant gratification. Your starting point is experimenting. If you don't experiment, be it. Now, like my wife makes nice rotis, right? You know what I mean? She's been making rotis for 25 years. But when she started making rotis, those rotis were not rotis, right? But we appreciated. Like when we got married, she didn't cook. She didn't make any rotis, but she started making it slowly. And the point is, if we don't try, we're not going to get. If you don't apply for a job, nobody is going to give you a job. The wheel which squeaks gets the grease. If you want to get the grease, you want to make more money. Start now. Like start experimenting with something, and slowly you will find the opportunities. Like honestly speaking, if you want to build a course, I would love to build a course with two of you. Let's join in collaborative course. Not many. If you look at this course market, the digital learning market, not many people create collaborative programs. And
It's
believe
so much
me,
power. It has so much power.
you are a finance guy, right? Wali is like a content guru and whatever I mean, he makes money and all that. He's the money guy. I come in as a personal branding guy. Just think about it, a program which three of us run, can we not sell that program for $2,000? But people
It's
don't
a
think about that. Collaboration is
collaboration.
success.
Acha, Aman
Collaboration
bhai,
is the power.
I also want to let the audience know here that it's not only the if you're talking about content, it's not only the count of people who are getting the impressions or the views itself. Because I'll just give you an example quickly. I was collaborating with one of the banks in the UK. and they were asking me to have one of the videos for them. So I mentioned one of the price, and they were saying it's too much because your views are not that high. Of course, my views are, and it's a very separate story that why my views are not as per my subscribers. It's completely different story. But anyways, then they told me that they have done collaboration with one of the Pakistani, because this bank, this particular bank, has the ability to open the bank account for Pakistanis, let's say Indians or anyone who are based in Pakistan or India. Very few banks can allow that, and these banks allow that through all the regulation and everything. So they were saying we have the target market of people who are freelancing and making money online, and they can keep their money in bank accounts in the UK. So this is very lucrative market for those people who want to open a bank account. So they were telling me that there is one guy who is a content creator from Pakistan who is doing comedy sketch. They collaborated with him, and across the platforms on YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok, they got almost 3 million views on that particular video where they talked about for this bank, and they were able to open almost 1000 accounts, open the account, but not really transferring the money. It's only the opening account opening, because they also try to judge or gauge the performance of any of the, let's say, content piece based on what is the translation happening. So it was only account opening. Then they came to me. I said, okay, I want to start work with you because I just wanted to have this kind of exposure. Before that, I haven't worked with any UK brand, so I wanted to work with them. So I dropped my price and I made a video for them. And let's say for that 3 million views, they got 1,000 account opened. For my 3,000 views, there were 100 accounts already opened with transactions also happening. So it's not the count of views or amount of impressions that you should be watching at. People would be, let's say, put away with, let's say, less number of views for any video. It should not be the case, because even 5 or 6 views can turn into leads. And Hamad Sahab knows about this, because you don't have to have a lot of impressions on LinkedIn, let's say, to create an impact. Because LinkedIn is somewhere, let's say, if somebody is targeting, you are targeting to someone who is, let's say, having money to spend, and your target niche is directly going there, then you don't need, let's say, 100,000 views. You just need 100, let's say, 1,000 views, and out of them, let's say, 100 of them converts, and then you can start selling your product or course or whatever the case is. So it's the quality of audience that matters, not the
Oh, yes.
quantity of audience.
That's
So,
definitely right.
so is
Just,
there
just one
any?
little thing I just said like to
Yeah,
add, and then maybe in another 5 minutes I'll have to say
yeah,
goodbye
yeah.
to you. I'm
Because we
extremely
already.
hungry, and then I have to go somewhere else as well. So, quality of audience, very, very important. Uh, I mean, so a lot of followers, I've got a lot of followers, and sometimes, I struggle as well because in the beginning of my journey on LinkedIn, I actually accepted invites from people who I shouldn't be accepting at that point. Taking them out takes a lot of time, so I just don't bother anymore. Um, so I wrote a little economic piece. I mean, it was not even an economic piece. Someone reached out to me from Saudi Arabia. This guy is an advisor, and he served at IMF and World Bank, and he's the one that I this morning sent a proposal off to, because people don't know. I mean, if you can help people do something, as I said, which they don't know how to, and help them save time and maybe eventually make some money. That's be it. Like the quality of audience, your content actually drives the quality of audience. This is what I wanted to do.
So, Samatha, one last question. I think then we can wrap up. How personal branding play a role to monetize the knowledge? Is
A
this
lot, actually. I
is
mean, a
this
lot.
necessary or this is mandatory?
Okay, essential, I would say. Essential. Because if people don't know you the way they should know you, they will not buy from you. If you have bad reputation, some will buy from you, but they will not pay you the price that you want them to pay you. So if you want to really achieve excellence into the whole process, it starts with personal branding. I mean, Sayyid Nadeem as a coach and a mentor, people should know him. Right? Your initial carousels. In fact, to me, I mean, we have been following each other for quite a while, but the thing that brought me close to you was amazing carousels that you were producing. So you created this spotlight initially. You were in the spotlight, and that's what actually triggered me to engage more on your post, and then now we started talking. Uh, Wali came onto one of my podcasts, audio podcasts. I did not follow him. He came, and then we started talking, and I started learning from him. We got connected. So personal brand, what I call, as a coach, I do some technical stuff as well. It's called controlled narrative. I mean, anyone here, please note this down. Controlled narrative. Now, nobody remembers Hamas Siddiqui as an economist because I controlled that narrative. My controlled narrative, there was a time when I was only talking about LinkedIn coaching program. And I'm sure many of you had witnessed it as well. I created a new program, which is a solopreneurship training program, which is my 15,000 hours worth of work that I put into my solopreneurship, created a program of it, and that's what I talk about. So your content actually drives that narrative, and you can control this. This is how I want people to know me. That's control narrative. And that's how you build your personal brand. So
Excellent.
don't go haywire, don't go everywhere. Just be very specific. Slowly build it up, and you will see it will start happening.
Thank you so much, Masab, Wali, and everybody. I think we can wrap up with the statement that you have to come into the process.
Yeah.
Without jumping into the process, you cannot start the process for anything you want. So thanks again, Masab. Any closing comment from Wali and Masab? We can just wrap up then.
I will quickly say invest into yourself. This platform that Nadeem Saab has kind of he's been paying for is not free. You know, Wali, the equipment that you have may be worth several $1,000s. Um, what I'm investing into my program is investment, and that's why we are making money. So knowledge brings you um, opportunities, and you make some money, but you will only grow when you invest into yourself. So be brave. Wali bhai.
Yeah, the last thing I want to say that this content creation or becoming a personal brand is not a zero sum game. In regular businesses, you have rivals, but in content creation, you don't have rivals, you have collaboration. So this is very important. Even people who are here, 18 people, 20 people who are whoever are here, let's say if they come to me on LinkedIn, they connect to me and they start communicating with me, and I see value from these people, then I will of course automatically be compelled to have some collaboration with them. I would say I have got almost 70 podcasts on my channel, and almost I would say 90% of them came through collaboration. So I don't find any danger in asking some, because this is the reason probably is that this content creation is very small. Like there is a huge scope in growing the space, be it on YouTube, be it on Instagram, or be it on, let's say, newsletter, anything. It's still a huge runway that you can go on. So consider every participant here, or let's say if you want to start yourself, as collaborator. Once you start having this kind of mindset, it will improve your work. By the way, in work related things as well, I have seen myself that I don't care now whoever is talking about what kind of things in office they're talking about. Earlier I was thinking in a different way, but now it's completely different. So this content creation is very good for your own professional life as well. Just this.
I think thank you so much. It's a great tips, and I think people will should be inspired from these kind of things which we are discussing now. I think they can start their journey. The beauty of personal branding, Amasa, that they can start from tomorrow.
Yeah.
You don't need to think too much today, even after jumping into this. Yeah, this is the beauty of this platform, So I think thanks again. Everybody is joining us. I think 17, 18 people, 25 people. We'll keep learning, inshallah. And see you in the next webinar.
Bye bye.